Hey guys, This one here again, unfortunately.
Any truth to the accusation against you?
Part
It's a matter of interpretation.
7 or 6. I think it's
But
part
I have
6
to say,
of the...
yes.
And then there were none by Agatha.
Will you tell
Christie.
me how it happened? Elderly. Poor devil. I'd been up all night with an emergency case. My nerves were shot, hands shaking. But I had to operate. I had to try and save her. I had a pick-me-up or two to steady myself, but I bungled it. It wasn't the drink, I swear. It was an accident. Could have happened to anyone in my profession. What brought you here to Shipwreck Island? Owen sent me a note, asking me to have a look at his wife, who's been suffering from arthritis and muscle spasms. What was the gossip concerning the Seaton case? I'm not one to spread gossip to just anyone about a man as distinguished as Justice Wargrave. If I was certain about it, perhaps. But I'm not. Good evening, Doctor.
Right, you're going to want to go and grab these fuses and change over the record.
Something...
Oops.
This could use a closer look. I wonder what's recorded on this side.
I'm pleased to see at least one of you has thought to turn the record over. Any good house party should include party games. This weekend is no exception. I have devised several little games of the mind to challenge your wits, and I hope you find the rewards for each to be worth the effort. You'll have to discover my little amusements on your own, however. I've scattered them all over this delightful island retreat. I hope that you will find them suitably entertaining.
Well, that's nice. Anyway, once Mr. Owen's finished talking, we'll not to grab the fuses out of there. Go and head back down here. Into the library when it loads. There we go. Jump back on the radio. Get out the Get out the fuse, put it in there, open it up.
A lot of good some bickering fishermen are going to do us. Hello, hello. Can anyone hear me? This is a distress call. What was that? Clearly Owen does not want me here.
Now you can take both of the fuses out of there. This is how you get the password for the boxes to go into the secret underground place.
Rule Britannia, Britannia rule the waves. Britons never will be slaves. Oh, makes the eyes water a bit.
The rule the waves part, guys. I almost forgot. You know, to get the pliers, go over to the fruit basket, make a copper wire.
Excellent. Like handed.
And you get a length for copper wire. Run over here. 1 minute, guys.
You want that?
Sorry about that, guys. I'm back. Head over to here. Put on the length of copper wire at the back just there. Grab all the fuses, stick them in.
There. Perhaps some light music will help soothe Vera's nerves. Any truth to the accusation against you?
I remember Seaton perfectly well. Playwright, charged with the murder of a chorus girl. He was found guilty, hung himself in his cell 3 days later, saved the crown the expense of doing it for him.
Will you tell me how it happened?
Nothing remarkable about it at all. I
Guys, I'm just gonna skip all the stuff. I'm gonna leave it up for about 5 seconds
hung
and I'm
himself
gonna
in his
take it
cell
off.
3 days later.
That's
The
gonna
law
take up
can be
2 of
wrong
my
sometimes.
stuff.
Perhaps. But I
It's
never
taking too much
am.
room on the hard drive.
What brought you here to Shipwreck Island?
I received a letter from an old friend, Lady Constance Cullington.
I am grateful for your assistance, Judge Wargrave. Any truth to the accusation against you?
About that child, Saul Hamilton.
Will you tell me how it happened?
Owen's mother. She was so kind. If she'd...
Are you sure you're telling me everything?
I'm telling you all I'm going to, Mr.
What brought you here to Shipwreck Island?
I was engaged through the Skilled Women's Agency to be Mrs. Owen's personal secretary for the remainder...
Thank you for your time, Miss Maple.
Here you can give the walking stick to him,
Perhaps this will grant the aging general increased mobility.
and you can give the pipe to the judge.
Although I don't condone smoking, any truth to the accusation against you? I admit it's a ghastly story, but I can't say it's wrong. Will you tell me how it happened? It was written up in the papers at the time. A story of self-preservation, pure and simple. A hunting party, leaving 21 men to die. Not very Puka Sahib, I'm afraid. What brought you here to Shipwreck Island? Owen's attorney, a man named Archibald Morris, rang up one day. Wanted to give me 100 guineas to join this house party. What specialized talents would those be? You might say I'm a good man in a scrap. Good eating. Any truth to the accusation against you?
Fellow got hold of a detestable rumour, nothing more. Arthur Richmond was one of my officers. I sent him on a reconnaissance, he was killed. Natural course of events in wartime.
Thank you, General. Stay well. Any truth to the accusation against you?
Look, Narracott, if that's what you want to call yourself. The rules have changed. Can't you see that? The past...
Will you tell me how it happened?
All right. Perhaps I was doing the odd favour for the Purcells. Yes, they paid me to perjure myself about Landor. Thanks to them, I was able to put enough away to set up my own detective agency. Nothing fancy.
Landor died.
He got penal servitude for life and died in Dartmoor a year later. Not...
What brought you here to Shipwreck Island?
I run a little detective agency in Plymouth these days. I'm on a job. Protect Mrs. Owen's jewels, the letter said. Mrs. Owen.
Thanks, Moore.
Interesting history Shipwreck Island has.
What are the names of those 2 people I'm accused of killing?
John and Lucy Combs. I made a note of it.
Must have been a couple of kids I ran over near Cambridge. Beastly bad luck.
For them, or for you?
Well, I was thinking for me, but of course you're right, sir. It was damned bad luck on them. Of course it was a pure accident. They rushed out of some cottage or other. Beastly nuisance. English roads are hopeless, of course. Can't get up a decent pace on them. Well, anyway, it wasn't my fault. This man is dead.
Did Marston choke to death?
You can call it choking if you like. He died of asphyxiation right enough.
Was Marston poisoned?
Can't say exactly. Everything points to one of the cyanides. No distinctive smell of prussic acid. Probably potassium cyanide. It acts pretty well instantaneously.
Was there something in the whiskey?
Yes, without a doubt.
Do you think it was suicide?
Seems like it.
Could he have been murdered?
Not my line of country. I'm a doctor, not a detective.
Did you know Marston before he arrived here today?
Not I. Personally or professionally.
What do you think that record means?
A disgraceful and heartless practical joke, I suppose.
Do you think it was suicide?
You conduct yourself well, Mr. Narracott, if you don't mind my saying so. Mr. Blore has told us that you are not what you appear, yet you told him you were not a detective.
No, sir. But I've read many detective novels. I even had one of those junior detective kits when I was a boy. Magnifying glass, fingerprint powder.
Junior detective kit. Wonderful.
Ah, an amateur sleuth, then. You appear to have something of a gift for it.
About the suicide, Judge.
I'm not yet prepared to offer an opinion.
Did you know Marston before he arrived here today?
I knew his father, the Duke, and his elder brother. There were other rumors of late.
What do you think that record means?
May I answer that in a moment after asking a question of my own?
Of course.
Does anyone know Mr. Owen's full name?
My letter was signed only U.N. Owen.
Yes, U.N. Owen. I'll now answer your question, Mr. Narracott. I have no doubt in my mind that we...
Why did you retire, Judge?
I know there was talk about my competence.
Good evening, Judge. Do you think Marston committed suicide?
You'd never think he would kill himself.
Did you know Marston before he arrived here today?
No.
Steady, Miss Claythorne.
What do you think that record means?
It was unfair.
You seem to be a remarkably perceptive girl, Miss Claythorne.
Why, thank you, Mr. Narracott.
Is there anything you can tell me about our fellow castaways?
Castaways?
Romantic?
I was going to say dramatic. Let me see.
That is,
I really don't know you well enough to answer you.
a good evening to you. Do you think Marston committed suicide?
He didn't seem particularly remorseful. Of course, the record might have set him off somehow. Possible. Quite possible.
Did you know Marston before he arrived here today?
Heard of him, but we'd never crossed paths. Awesome.
What do you think that record means?
There is something wrong with this entire weekend. And this...
I believe we're all coming around to that conclusion.
Yes, but I know something you don't, Judge.
What is that?
I recognized the voice on that recording, and it was definitely not Mr. Owen.
Who was it?
Not so fast, Narracott.
Thanks for your time, Mr. Longdon. Do you think it was suicide?
How dare you?
I meant Marston.
Marston?
Did you know Marston before he arrived here today?
No, I don't think so. Not a military man, I'd wager.
What do you think that record means?
Ugly. After 30 years.
Good evening, General.
Alright guys, this will be the end of part 6 and I'll be meeting you on part 7 very shortly. Till then, I'm Pretrix this one, I'll see you soon.